swear I won't stop until I've scrapped each and every one of you!
Every single week, I'll be chronicling my first time playing through the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy on Switch 2 in anticipation for Xenoblade Genesis. This is part 2 of my journey through Xenoblade Chronicles. Last week, I experienced the harrowing attack on Colony 9 and the unexpected death of Theora. This week, I've made contact with Colony 6 and arrived in Machna Forest. Yes, the previous video covered my first 4 hours, and this video covers the next 14 hours. Because I have been loving this game so much that I didn't want to stop to write this video. Every single location I visited, I was in awe at how beautifully striking it all was. Standing on the Bionis' kneecap, looking up to seeing the bodies of the Bionis and the Mechonis clashing is incredible. Riding through the Bionis leg to see these vast plains full of different monsters, which I also love that the game scatters these high-level monsters throughout the world, is so cool. It encourages me to take some mental notes and like, okay, I'm gonna go back and hunt that creature. It has also been especially fun to get quests that I'm clearly unable to complete until I'm at higher level, so it's a clever way of the game reminding me to come back to this area later because there's a high level enemy I have to fight. The biggest example being this bottle item locked behind a level 40 unique monster, and even though I got that quest before reaching level 10, one of my favorite moments was being ambushed by a bunch of Javelin Turkins for looking at looting an item at their camp. They were nowhere to be found. I found the item, picked it up, and then they all attacked. Also, seeing the destroyed Colony 6 was awful, but I'm so glad that the mechanic in this Colony 6 is to rebuild it. So that certainly has given me the priority to make sure to complete Colony 6 before I end my journey into Xenoblade. The Aether Mines and the Satori Marsh both offered such awesome visuals. The Aether Mines having this gigantic drill or machine thing in the center of it that required us to like navigate vertically down. The Satori Marsh being this beautifully bright, striking area. All of these dead trees beautifully glowing with all this like, I don't know, these fuzzy lights all over the place. I just loved exploring this area because I found myself inside this lizard temple with the leader on this throne, and I spent a couple of hours finding the best ways to pool the room of 11 lizards into like 3 groups so I can make the fights more manageable. The Bionis interior is super cool. I didn't realize it during my first time here, but you can see a beating organ and objects that look like flying red blood cells floating in the environment. It is such a cool small environment to provide such visual lore about the Bionis. I also didn't even mention music during part 1, but as I begun to focus more on paying attention to the music, it heavily reminded me of Final Fantasy 15, a game I greatly love. And yes, one of the composers is Yoko Shimomura, the composer of Final Fantasy 15. The music is fantastic. I am always excited to fight unique monsters because the music track for it is just so freaking good. I have also been unlocking mini games throughout my journey, which I believe are unique to the Switch 2 version. First is the GP race, which is a lot of fun, but it did spoil me on how many more party members I will be unlocking. The race will reward you for winning a race with each of the characters. However, instead of leaving empty space after the characters you have, it clearly shows 3 additional roles with their own little question marks indicating that I'm going to be unlocking 3 more characters. I do know of the name Melia, and I did see a cutscene with her at the end of my 14 hours, so I'm guessing she's going to be my next playable character. Definitely feels like she would be a High Entia. Her outfit is so much different from everyone else's. Not sure who she is, but Shulk and Melia were probably the most common names I heard when people reference Xenoblade Chronicles. There was also combat trials that were a lot of fun. They helped me better understand how to play a character. As soon as I unlocked Dunban, one of his trials had me play as him, so I got better to learn how to play him. The world lore is also slowly unfolding. We learn about the ancient High Entia race at the head of the Bionis. I'm curious if Dixon was hinting that Shulk might be High Entia, because he does mention having met a High Entia. We also met a monster called the Telethia, which are dragon-like monsters meant to protect the Bionis, which is super cool. And we saw it fight a Zord, which is Also very, very cool. Also, having seen these glimpses of this mysterious white Mechon, part of me is like, is that Fiora? But then when the lady in black called the lady in white Meneth or something, I had been really enjoying these out of context visions Shulk is having, because it is unclear whether this person in white is good or bad. But it just adds so much cool mystery. Also, the reason I said Fiora is because there is still a meeting point in Dunban's house that I don't have access to. And I'm like, is that Fiora? I hope not, but it would be crazy. I was also introduced to my queen, Sharla. Holy, what a gorgeous character. I was stunned at how beautiful she is. Her outfit choices are wild too. I wish her beach outfit was a bit more creative, but I have been happy with the other options available. Also, for her gameplay, to be a healer that shoots you with a rifle is so awesome. It is a pretty difficult playstyle because I have to juggle the rifle's heat while casting all of these additional attacks and healing abilities, but the animation of her cooling her gun is just so freaking sick. Currently, I have the AI play as her because it seems like they do a much better job at juggling the gun heating mechanic. The relationship between Shulk and Rein has been getting so good. I love that Shulk has been feeling more insecure about his visions, to the point where he avoids telling people about them. But Rein, being very emotionally connected to Shulk, realizes that Shulk has been holding back and confronts him about it, giving Shulk this comfort that we will change the future together, and it's okay to tell us because we are here to help you. It is a beautiful moment of just showing how close these two are. There is another really emotional moment where Shulk tells Otheron to chill out and let's plan our next move, not realizing that since Colony 6 was attacked, Otheron has been trying to make this plan a possibility. He's been doing this for a long time. It gives a lot of depth to a character when they make responses like that, and I was very happy. Even Sharla, although unfortunately her goal is to find her man, she is still a very strong character on her own, and I do hope we get some closure with her and Gadol very soon. Dunban's reintroduction into the story with Dixon was super cool, fighting back the Zord and being just a total badass. I cannot wait to play more. This game has been tremendously fun, and I'll see you all next week for some more Xenoblade Chronicles. Holy, it's so good!